Hey guys, I thought it was time for a little bit of an update. Things have been going crazy around here. We've been trying to get the barley off. Earlier this week we combined our barley and we took that off a little bit higher moisture. That's how we've been doing it the last couple years. And we put it in a bag. So got that combined. We just finished filling the bag this morning, and so that's all in the bag and all off. But now that means it's time to get the straw off, and that's the next step. So Dad's in there raking straw right now. It is hot today. It is 97, 98 degrees, and it's roasting. We put 3 loads of pigs on this morning, and it was exhausting. It was so hot, but it's great weather for drying straw, so hopefully we can get some good dry straw out of this. So we're gonna round bale most of it, but I think we're gonna try to fill up. We have 2 open wagons right now for small bales. So generally we always try to fill up our wagons with small bales, and we use those for the calves and stuff. It makes it a little nicer for those small areas. So yeah, I think we're gonna run in there and see if we can fill up the 2 wagons that we have open. But man, hopefully this temp backs down a little bit this evening here as we do that. So we're gonna get the baler hooked up and do a little service work on that. Hopefully that thing's ready to go, and then see if we can get some straw baled. Here's our barley bags. We actually made 2, got kind of lumpy a little bit, but we actually made 2 bags this year. The neighbor of the guy who does our combining, Dave Ginder, had some that he also wanted to take off for a little bit higher moisture, get it off early. So we actually bought some from him too. So we have 2 bags, and we didn't quite fill the second bag, but that's all we got. So anyway, I'm gonna shut the Magnum down here. This thing is just cooling down, and then we'll get the baler hooked up. You guys have actually seen this before if you watch some of our older videos, but this bagger is a special bagger, 7-foot bag, but it has a roller mill, a hammer mill on the top. So we're actually grinding the barley as it goes in this bag, so it's ready to feed when we open up the bag. So I don't know if this little sampler guy here, I don't know if there's any in here or not. No, but yeah, it's grinding it up, basically breaking all the seeds up a little bit so that better digestibility for the cattle. If you don't do that, the barley tends to just kind of go right through the cattle, and you don't get a lot of nutrient value. So it's important to grind it on the way in. You could grind it on the way out too, but this way it's all ready to go, ready to feed for us. So this thing's been working out pretty good for us this 2nd or 3rd year of doing this, and makes some good feed for us. So we're able to take that barley crop and turn it into beef. Just got some fresh bedding in here. Looks like they're enjoying that. They were happy to get out of the sun, get in the shade here a little bit. So it's a hot one out there, isn't it? Everybody's panting. Feels good just chilling in the shade though, huh? All right, we got the McCormick all fueled up here. We're gonna put that thing on the baler and see if we can get out to the field yet today. push that door open the whole way. That's good. So I did remember to put it in 540 this year. I don't know if you guys remember last year, but couldn't figure out why the baler, like we couldn't run it slow enough. Turns out this tractor, you flip the PTO shaft around for 540 or 1000, but then you also have to shift this little shifter here into 540 or 1000. So I had forgot to do that. The baler was running too fast. Anyway, got it taken care of this year. Hopefully things will work out a little better this time. There's a bunch up here. All these U-joints, I think you can probably get to them there. Yeah. And then there's one on the top here, up there. Yeah. And then I'll pull this cover off. I think you need to get to this cover. It's too hard to go in through that hole. Let me pull that off quick. Grab that washer. Go ahead. That's good. A little more yet. That's good. Okay. That's good. The one on the back side. I think that's it. That one on the bottom. Yeah. All right, I think the baler's all ready. Heather was running some errands, and look what she just showed up with. Frosties. Perfect. No better time than a 100-degree day to have a Frosty. All right, heading to the field. All right, made it here to the field. I'm gonna give this a shot, so. Like stacking straw bales on the hottest day of the year.
This is like the hottest day possible to do this. It's like 99 degrees right now.
Let me know if you need a break. It's going okay so far. We're breaking a couple bales, but we backed off the tension a little bit. It seems to be better now, so we'll see how it goes.
We just had one not wrap up right, so it blew out in a big pile of foam. get piled up here. Something with the nodder is not right because a couple of these, a lot of them actually, have been coming out busted. So, let's see how that goes. Good.
Well, that's as far as we got. There's something wrong with the baler. We've been messing around with this thing for a while, but the one nodder is not grabbing the string. It's not hanging on to it. So I don't know. We can't figure it out. But now there's something messed up because it just sheared a bolt. So anyway, we're gonna call it. We're heading home. Unsuccessful. We only got about a half a wagon baled, and there's something wrong with the baler. So we can't get it figured out, so we're gonna call it for today. I think we're just gonna let that straw sit, and maybe once we get the baler fixed, we can come back and bale that up quick. That way we have something to try it out to make sure it's working. So. But anyway, that's not exactly what we wanted. I was hoping we could have cranked through that and got those 2 wagons filled and then, yeah, been done. But we do have wheat straw yet, so we do have an opportunity to bale some more during the wheat straw harvest. So if we don't get anything more baled, barley, we can always make some wheat straw bales. So. Anyway. We're headed home. We're gonna call it a day. It's been a long day, and it is so hot.
Okay guys, so me and Jaren are out here today. Dad is currently in Virginia, and so we are out here. We're gonna be the ones going to the hog barns, so we're gonna take you guys along with us. So right now the barns are, well, at least the first 2 barns are starting to look emptier because they started loading out hogs. So you'll see a lot of them are just kind of laid out because it's so hot in here because of the heat outside. We've had lots of hot weather right now. Fans are running, but the heat is inevitable. They're drinking up because of this heat. Everybody's getting their water. So I don't know if we told you guys this or videoed anything about this, But a couple days ago, there's something wrong with the water. So the first barn here was not getting any water. So our temporary solution was this hose that's just going from the second barn, getting the water from there and coming over here. So that's how this barn has been getting water for the past couple days. But we needed to get a solution fast because these pigs are thirsty and it's hot, so that's what we thought up real quick. We're in the second barn now. This one's a little more filled up than the first barn, but still. They're taking out of this one too now. So one of the things we're checking for is that there's always feed in there, and that all the pigs in here are looking okay, and there's nothing like broken in the barns or anything like that. One of the little things is these hoses sometimes, you see, squirting out there. So this clamp might just be a little loose, but that's an easy fix.
The amount of tree roots in here is crazy. Like there's all, especially right there, there's just tons of little tree roots going through there.
So we decided we're gonna do this right. Remember last year we did that upside down water? We put the water up high in the shop and didn't really work out so good because it kept freezing. There were some low spots that we didn't have it high enough to drain out. So we're doing some other work here today. We'll show you that in a second. But while we're doing that, we thought, let's put a hydrant in. And it's 100 degrees out, so it seemed like a good job to do. But right where we want to put the hydrant, we have some rock. So we're gonna see if we can bust some of this rock out of here. Well, we're not making very good progress. Let's see what this looks like. Maybe this is good enough.
Oh yeah, that seems fine to me.
The question is that deep enough?
Yeah.
Ideally, we could go a little bit more yet.
Height-wise up here, it looks okay, but...
What's that?
I said height-wise, it looks okay.
Yeah,
like off
and
the
that
ground.
way the hose can go down to the float,
Mm-hmm.
which is what we want. But we're not very far in the dirt.
There,
Hello?
Darren says to use it for fish bait.
Oh, crap.
Not again. Last time you saved it.
It's alright. It's just sometimes it's annoying that it's restarted.
We're all of a sudden getting hit by a storm here. I mean, we could see the clouds coming in, but yep, the storm hit us now. It's pretty wet, so we wrapped that up and we're heading inside now, but it is pouring, as you can tell.
It is pouring out here. Like the driveway turned into a river.
All right, we're finishing up our job with the excavator here. So we had two things going on here. We had a problem with the water line that runs from barn 2 to barn 1 at the hog barns. Something was restricting the line, and it was the flow was just getting slower and slower to the point where we could hardly maintain pressure. So we ran a temporary line across the ground. We got to get down there and clean that up yet, and that bought us a couple days until the excavator could get here and we started digging. So we dug up a couple spots trying to figure out what might be restricting the line, and in the end I think all it was just dirt in the line that had packed up kind of near a 90 degree elbow that was in the line. So appears to be flowing good now, and we got good pressure in the other barn, so that's great. But we did get some really dark, dirty water out of there at first. So anyway, we got that all put back together down there. We got to clean up that temporary line yet. And up here at the shop, we got everything in the ground, and we are just closing things up. So we got our new hydrant out to the water trough, which will be awesome. That'll be all underground now, and we don't need to worry about lines freezing. You saw us messing with that last winter, so should be all good. And yeah, we're gonna get things buttoned up, finish out the day. All right, so we got our new hydrant put in here, which is gonna be awesome. So if we want to have water out here, we got a hydrant, and we also laid in conduit to run electric out here if we want to put a heat tape on the hydrant if we're going to leave it on in the winter. So that's all good. We're getting this closed back up and See, the existing water line comes in from the well out there. So what we did was we just like tapped into the water line here, and then we got some cool stuff going on out there. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but for now, we got our water for the Simmentals, and that's good to go. All right, so down here at the hog barn, this is where we had to dig a little bit. There's a water line that runs through here. We dug this up, realized that wasn't our spot. And then over here, right there is the well. And turns out, I think the obstruction was somewhere right in this. The water line comes around here and comes in and goes into the barn, and then the line from the well goes back this way. So I think it was obstructed somewhere right in here. Kind of a low spot, maybe sediment kind of filled up over the years, but it seems to be flowing good now, and we got it all buttoned up. But we had run this temporary line. So this is just irrigation 2-inch lay flat line. We had this strung along the ground from over there in that barn on the ground over here. This barn, all of our electrical and water distribution comes from this little area right here. So we had it strung across the ground. Worked out good that we were in the summer, not in the winter, but we had good water pressure while we had that line in place, and now that we got it cleaned out, looks like we were back to normal. So we got to get this line put away and back to the neighbor. Thanks to Junior, our neighbor, who donated this line for us in an emergency, and he's ready to have it back for some of his produce. So we'll get it cleaned up. Go ahead. Yeah, yeah.
I guess as long as it stays together, that's the...
Well, he's just gonna roll it back out. All right, well, I think we did about as much as we possibly could this week, and didn't bring you guys along with everything because we were just so busy, but I think we got it all done, at least enough for now, and it's time to go on vacation. See you guys next week.